Happy Easter, happy resurrection morning. It is a great day. Easter is the day that we celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ, the Christ who was hung on the cross, died, was buried, and then rose again on this morning. And so, because Jesus is alive, because we serve a living Savior, we have life too. We have life in Jesus Christ. We have forgiveness through Him and through His blood. And so this is a great morning, and I pray that you will spend this day, Easter Sunday, really celebrating Jesus and celebrating the life you have. This morning I was reading once again through all four Gospels, the resurrection account, and there were two people that really stuck out to me as I was reading them once again, and the first is Mary. Mary is mentioned in all four of them and as being the first one to see Jesus. Wow, what a privilege to be the first one to witness a resurrected Savior. And the reason she was first is because she was looking. She never gave up. She had hope. Even in the midst of her sorrow, there was still a seeking after Jesus. And I think there's a lesson in that for us. Maybe you're the kind that has always sought after Jesus, your love for Jesus has always come first, as it was with Mary, and you've never given up, but maybe you are in a season of despair. I know it's a difficult season for many people with coronavirus and the pandemic and the social distancing and all of those things that are going on, and it's a difficult season for many people. Even beyond that, there's many difficulties that so many are going through. But you've never given up on your love for Jesus. You've always sought after Him. And I just want to encourage you once again that Jesus will be found, and Jesus will find you. You will be one to see Jesus because you'll wake up this morning and you'll be seeking after Jesus. And so just a reminder that He loves you, that He will find you today. You will find Him because you're seeking after Him. The other person that I recognized in this story was Peter, and he wasn't really mentioned in Matthew, but then in Mark, the message that the angel gives to Mary is this: go tell His disciples and Peter. That has always struck me every time I've read the resurrection account in Mark, that the angel says, go tell His disciples and Peter. Why and Peter? Well, Peter, you remember, is the one who denied Him 3 times. Peter is the one who swore up and down that he did not follow Jesus, that he did not know Jesus. And so I'm sure within Peter there was not only the sorrow over the death of Jesus, but there was the regret and the remorse and the sorrow over his own sin and how he could deny and betray his Savior the way that he did. I don't know everything that was going on in Peter's mind, but one of the things must have been, how could Jesus ever forgive me? How could God ever forgive me? And so Mary comes back and tells the disciples, and probably also says to Peter, hey, you know what? Jesus said, and you. And in Luke, we see that Peter's response is he runs. And he doesn't run from Jesus. He runs towards where Jesus was, the last place he knew Jesus was, and that was in that tomb. And Peter runs to go see Jesus, because I believe that in that word that Mary gave to Peter, and from what he knew of Jesus, that Peter had a sense, and Peter knew that the only place he could find forgiveness was Jesus. And so he went, and there was probably some fear, but mostly what I believe there was in Peter was hope, and a hope in the knowledge of who Jesus is, and that in Jesus he would find forgiveness, in Jesus he would find healing, in Jesus he would find the answer to his distraught soul. And so he ran to Jesus. And maybe that's been you. Maybe you have been running away from Jesus. Maybe you have been one that's denied Jesus. Maybe not in your words, but maybe with your life and your actions and your behavior. And on this Easter Sunday morning, I want you to know, and Jesus wants you to know, that you can run to Jesus, that you can run to Him, and He will receive you. He will forgive you. Don't be afraid to run to the last place you knew you found Jesus. And he will be there, and he will forgive you. The thing that's amazing to me too is you get a little bit more of the story as you go into the Gospel of John. And at the end of John, you see Jesus and Peter sitting and having some fish together and talking, and Jesus asks Peter this question: do you love me? And Peter said, yeah, I love you. And you know what? Jesus asked that question of Peter 3 times. Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? And each time Jesus sent Peter on mission. He said, feed my sheep, tend my sheep. He said these things. What he did to Peter is he gave him mission. He gave him purpose. Not only did Jesus forgive Peter, but he said, Peter, I can still use you. I still want to use you. You're still valuable to me, to my kingdom. And maybe that's you today too. Maybe you've come to a place in your life where you said, Jesus, I've denied him too many times. I've run away from him too many times. I've disappointed him too many times. He can't love me. And the message of Easter is, not only does he love you, not only will he forgive you, but he still wants to use you. You are valuable for his kingdom. You still have a purpose. And so this Easter, seek after him. You are loved, you will be forgiven, and you can be used. You are valuable for his kingdom. Have a blessed and a glorious Easter Sunday. Remember that he loves you, and just live and dwell in that love today. Hey, if you are enjoying these videos, please share them and subscribe to the YouTube channel and to deepimpactlife.com. Have a great and blessed Sunday.